we are going to compare the features and specs of the 2014 HTC One M8 and Samsung Galaxy S5. You probably won't find a bigger Android rivalry than this. The new HTC One M8 is about to butt heads with the Samsung Galaxy S5. How do their features and specs compare? Size. The phone's dimensions are dramatically different, but the HTC One M8 is 3% longer, 3% narrower, and 16% thicker than the Galaxy S5. About weight. The Galaxy S5 is 9% lighter than the One M8. That probably has a lot to do with this next category, the build. I admit having a soft spot for Samsung's pleather. It's light, I think it looks pretty good, and it's comfortable in hand. But there's no question that the prize for premium, high-end design goes to HTC. The One M8 has a unibody aluminum finish that looks stunning. This is the BMW of smartphones. The color options for both phones. We have 3 color options for the One M8 and 4 for the GS5. About display. The Galaxy S5 gives you 4% more screen real estate than the One M8. And in most apps, the actual difference will be a little bigger than that. That's because the One M8 uses on-screen navigation buttons, while the GS5 has physical and capacitive buttons below the screen. You will, however, get the One's full 5-inch landscape in areas like your image gallery, videos, and Google PL. Motion Launch. The HTC One M8's Motion Launch is a set of sensor-based shortcuts. When you're holding the One in portrait mode, you can jump straight to your lock screen, home screen, or widgets by swiping or tapping the screen while it's off. You can also do things like activate the camera by pressing the volume button while holding it in landscape mode or answer a call by lifting the phone to your ear. Heart rate sensor. Samsung is trying to get a jump on mobile fitness tech with a pulse sensor in the GS5. It sits below the phone's rear camera. Fingerprint scanner. Never one to let the iPhone hog the spotlight, the Galaxy S5 has its own fingerprint scanner. Unlike the one in the 5s, though, you have to swipe your finger down from the bottom of the screen, rather than just rest it on the home button. Internal storage options in each phone. Internal storage options are the same, and this year HTC also threw in a micro SD card slot. Those are nothing new for Galaxy flagships. Battery. It's too early to jump to conclusions about the GS5's battery life, but the One M8 is going to be hard to beat. In our standard test, where we stream video with brightness set at 75%, it lasted an insane 9 hours and 20 minutes. Cameras. Looking just at megapixels, this looks like a blowout for the Galaxy S5. But the One's camera has bigger pixels, ultra-pixels, which help it take brighter and more colorful shots under poorly lit conditions. Consider this one an incomplete until we test the GS5's camera. Depth sensor. The One M8 also has a second camera devoted to sensing depth. This lets you create blurred background shots bokeh, where you can choose the point of focus after you've already snapped the picture. The GS5 has a similar software-based version of that same feature, even though the phone doesn't have any depth sensing hardware. Slow motion video. Each phone has an extreme power-saving mode that desaturates the screen and limits process. Both phones will let you capture Junior's Little League home run or Fido's frisbee trick in slow motion. Water resistance. Last year Samsung marketed a separate version of the Galaxy S4, the GS4 Active, that had some water and dust resistance on board. This year the Galaxy S5 has the same protection built in. Processor. Both phones ship with a blazing fast Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor. Performance isn't an issue with the One, and it shouldn't be with the GS5 either. As is usually the case with Samsung flagships, non-LTE markets will see an octa-core Samsung Exynos chip in place of the Snapdragon. About RAM. The RAM is tied up at 2 GB a pop. About software. Both devices are shipping with the latest version of Android. You also have a custom UI, either HTC Sense 6 or Samsung's TouchWiz, sitting on top. This is of course, just a quick features and specs based look at these two flagships. We'll have much more on both of them later on, including a hands-on comparison. In the meantime, you can hit up our HTC One M8 review for more on what might just be the best smartphone around.